I want to talk about baby etiquette because I have 4 babies and I know how men need to act around them. Men, if it's a baby that you don't know, cannot touch the baby. You cannot ask to pick the baby up, and you're not supposed to touch it. It's a germ thing, but it's also a man thing. Men have no desire to hold a baby that's not their own. Now, if it's a nephew or a grandson, you can ask to hold the baby, and then you have to give the baby immediately right back. But if it's a president, or if it's a guy with a patrician air like myself, you can do 2 things. One, you can put your knuckle right under the chin and do a little Gucci Gucci goo. That's how you feel the skin, and that's nice and manly or presidential. Or you could do the thing where you put your pinky out and you let the baby grip the pinky. It's a little grip strength test, and it's fun. And you go on and judge the babies that have no grip strength. But in no way can you swallow the baby's foot. It's a little intrusive.
You know, Piers, isn't it, this bizarre behavior by Joe Biden, I mean, it not only reminds voters that this man is, the president and the 25th Amendment should be used against him, but it reminds voters of how Kamala covered up his imbecility.
Well, it's just extraordinary. I mean, we've just spent 5 minutes talking about the President of the United States eating babies. And when you think we're exaggerating, you see that close-up picture of him literally taking that baby's leg like it's a chicken leg on a Sunday lunch. It's bizarre behaviour. But there is a serious point, I think, which I think the rest of the world is making, looking in, which is it's very easy to forget that Joe Biden remains the president of the United States. And it's only when he pops up biting babies' legs or he's doing weird Skype calls from his bunker right in the middle of Kamala Harris's great address to the nation, which is just such odd timing. And all of it is very weird and very odd. And you think, well, actually, if there was a major crisis right now in America, is this guy, the baby biter on Skype, is he going to make the call about what happens? As to this wider thing with Mark Cuban and women, it's very interesting to watch the way the Democrats have generally tried to play and depict themselves as the great standard bearers and flag wavers for women's rights. Because they keep going on about abortion rights. OK, fine. What about the other half of women's rights, which they pretend nobody cares about? What about the rights, for example, of women to compete in sport in America without having to come up against biological males? A United Nations report, you probably covered this, but last week said that 900 medals had been removed and deprived from biological women who had lost to trans athletes. That's not a small number. So the Democrats like to say, we are all for women's rights. People like Mark Cuban, we're the women's rights, they're the women's rights haters. I've only heard one candidate stand up for women's rights to fairness in sport, and it's Donald Trump. So I'm not buying this, the Democrats are the only ones who care about women's rights, because it is transparently not true. And I think the way Cuban is reining back this afternoon on what he said, he's realised there are a lot of smart women on the Conservative side. A lot of them. I made a note myself. Melania, Ivanka, Lara, Tulsi, Kellyanne, Kayleigh, others, Nikki Haley. They're all smart women. And when you denigrate a whole group in the way that he's done, it's like when Biden calls all the supporters garbage. It's like when they call them Nazis and fascists. When you do that, you have lost the argument.
Greg, why is it so difficult for the Dems to go a day without trashing Trump supporters? Women, all of us.
I don't know. First, I want to tackle Joe Biden, because we always heard the rumors that he was eating baby food, but we didn't think it was literal baby food. We thought it was like mushed peas, not an actual baby. But I'm going to defend Joe because, these kids are dressed up as food, right? You probably thought it was the real thing. In my view, the brat was asking for it. My mom always said, if you're going to go out dressed like a piece of chicken, some old senile guy is going to try to eat you. And that's exactly what happened.
You're baby blaming.
I'm baby blaming. You don't go out like that. How dare you? Okay, Cuban, I could say that all Democrat males are beta cucks who are only acting because there's something in their past that they want to keep covered up. But that's a generalization. And I don't do that.
You don't do that.
There are some safe generalizations. All Jason Statham movies are great. All British food is bad. We assume that.
Complete lie.
But making a generalization that Cuban did without saying exceptions is amateur hour. Now, you could argue that Kamala isn't surrounded by smart women because they all quit, right? 80% of her staff. And it seems like all the dumb ladies left Trump, Liz Cheney, can't remember, Alyssa Griffin, Mika B. These are not members of Mensa, not even the members of Menudo. They're just dim bulbs. So this is the problem with making generalizations, is that anybody can make them, and then you feel really stupid. You got to walk it back. I, for one, will never walk back a generalization, ever.
And neither will the Dems.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.